The Formula Renault Euro Cup is at the Nurburgring this weekend, and it's the first of two races with the championship finally poised indeed, with Oscar Piastri and Victor Martins coming here as the joint championship leaders. And it's going to be an all-action weekend for sure, because after the Nurburgring this weekend, the series will then move to the Hungaroring. We've got races in Spain, also Hockenheim and Abu Dhabi before the end of the season. So there is still a lot to play for, but a good haul of points this weekend could turn out to be absolutely critical. The grid is busy, the grid is forming as the cars now slot into position. Oscar Piastri, though, is with our reporter Dakota Jane.
So as you can see here, Oscar has got the fans going because it's very hot down here, so he's trying to cool the engine down a little bit. Oscar, how are you feeling starting this race in P1?
Pretty good, obviously. Not really any better place to start here, so plenty of clear track ahead of me, and hopefully I can keep it that way.
I think from what I gather, you're a little bit nervous, but you're ready to go, yes? Good luck for the race. Thank you very much, Oscar. Back to you, David.
Oscar Piastri then on pole position, 3 times a winner this year, and the Australian driver who races under a British licence, so there's often this confusion of the Aussie listening to the British national anthem at the end of the race. He lines up then on that pole position, and let's see whether or not this is going to be another good haul of points for him. He's after more as far as the championship is concerned. The important thing in all of this is to try to outscore Victor Martins, who is on only row 4 alongside Alexander Smalia. So you've got 2 quick drivers there having to make some progress up the order. Let's walk up the grid then with Oscar Piastri on pole position on the right as you look at it, and then on the left up against the pit wall is Patrick Pasma, championship leader on pole. Piastri 3 times a winner. Third on the grid under the white umbrella there, number 53 Petr Potacek, and Alex Quinn is going to be next. If we work our way through the throng of people, there you find the traditional red and white Arden colours. Fifth on the grid is number 41, that's Kush Maini, driving for the M2 Competition team, and 6th in the Renault colours, because he's part of the Renault young driver development programme, is Kyle Collett. 7th on the grid in the red, white and blue of SMP Racing, Alexander Smalia, the quick Russian driver who's taken 2 wins. He's 4th in the championship. And then again in the Renault colours, Victor Martins for MP Motorsport, the joint championship leader. He lines up 8th on the grid. 9th on the grid is Javiera, who's returned to racing this year. And 10th is Amaury Cordil, my brother of Gabriel Cordil, sports car racer. Then next on the grid, 11th is the JD Motorsport car of Leonardo Lorandi, and behind him on the 1x1 staggered grid is Patrick Schott, who switches to MT competition for the weekend. Frank Bird for Arden lines up 13th, and a long way back, 3rd in the championship and 3 times a winner this year, is number 12 Lorenzo Colombo. Behind him is the Monza winner Hugo de Wilde. That Monza win seems like a long time ago now for the young Belgian. 16th is Xavier Llaveras, who drives for GRS. And then at the back, you've got Federico Malvestiti, who was so impressive at Spa, but he's a long way back here for Vitek. And newcomer Alex Karkosik completes the grid. Karkosik there in the FA Racing by DriveX car that's had a real shuffle of drivers over the course of the year and doesn't have anybody now that it started the season with. Indeed, it's also down by 1 car. We are ready to go. 5 red lights will go on, and then the lights go out. The race gets underway with a very slow start indeed by Potacek. Everybody dodges around him. Piastri leads the way, but only just because of the inside line there. Look goes Pasma. Can he go through on the inside line? Yes, he can, but he goes deep into the corner, goes out wide. Piastri fights back. There's mayhem in the middle of the pack as well. Look, there's contact. There are 3 cars that have been involved. The first one that went around, as I'm afraid, triggered the mayhem behind as the leaders dive now down towards turn 3. Side by side, Pasma versus Piastri on the inside at 4, and he goes back through. Oscar Piastri takes over the race lead, goes out wide. And side by side, they run absolutely together down towards turn 4. Patrick Pasma tries to get the lead, and he secures it coming into turn 4, gets the job done. Brave stuff then. So, Patrick Pasma leads for the first time this season. Oscar Piastri down in 2nd place, gave it his all there to try to hang on to the advantage, but to no avail. And then let's see what's going to go on behind, particularly in terms of the incident at turn 1, because we have a safety car being deployed straight away. Safety car on track then because of the incident down at turn 1. And there it is. So we've lost, out of all of that, 28 Javiera. We've lost 46 by the look of it, which is Patrick Schott. Yeah, now let's try and have a look at the start. Petr Potacek, dreadful start, staggers away. That drops him way, way, way down the order. So completely, I'm afraid, undoes his good qualifying effort. Here it is from another angle. Lights go out, and you suddenly see Kush Mining have to dodge around Potacek because he was going nowhere. Pasma to the inside line, fights his way down towards turn one. Now, Patrick Schott is about to go around, and so is Vieira. There's the contact. So Vieira got hit, then Schott got hit as well, and spun around with the broken suspension. Others delayed. Frank Bird, that was, having to go off in avoidance. And the safety car will be in this lap then, so we'll get ready to go racing again. And we've got effectively 5 minutes done. And now on his toes, ready for the restart, Patrick Pasma, knowing that Oscar Piastri may well, should well, try to come back at him here as they turn up through the right-hander of their Hyundai Curva, ready to break the beam and go racing now. Over the timing line goes Patrick Pasma, and he will lead them away then with 2 laps in the book, and he's half a second to the good as they go down towards turn one. Third is Quim, in 4th place it's Miney, in 5th is Smoljar, in 6th is Martin, 7th is Collett, 8th Colombo, 9th Randy, 10th is Cordeal. Smoljar's a man with a bit of work to do, but he's got to fight on his hands both to attack and defend at the moment as they come up through the Mercedes arena this time. So the 2 race leaders then, Patrick Pasma versus Oscar Piastri. In 3rd place, Alex Quinn. Really good effort this, and his first time out in these cars, but he's dropping away a little bit. But certainly it's game on for the race lead. Piastri would dearly like another win. He would dearly like the points, but he's also conscious that his championship rival, Victor Martins, is only in 6th place as they come now down towards the Dunlop curve. 3rd and 4th getting themselves together. Quinn ahead of Miney. 5th is Smoljar. Martins 6th, and not really making the progress at the moment. He's close as they come out of the Dunlop curve, but he's not close enough to think about a move just yet. The climb up the hill now on the charge towards the Ravenel curve, and you can see the gap has come right down between the top 2. Oscar Piastri now perhaps starting to shape up to make a move as they accelerate towards the Ad Van Bogen. Here they come with Piastri using as much of the curve as the leader does, so shadowing him. Piastri took a 10th out of him in the first sector. Now they come through the Ad Van Bogen up towards the chicane. Top 2 pretty much as one, and look at the gap they have pulled on the first lap of this restart. Into the chicane then now. Formula Renault cars using the tighter version of it, the slower version, and they accelerate up towards the Hyundai curve. The GT cars here this weekend use the quicker route through, but it means with it being a tighter chicane, it's also an overtaking opportunity if you're brave enough. Piastri, 2 absolute best in sectors. Over the timing line, they have gone. The gap is 0.4 of a second, and Piastri laps quicker. He's getting away from Quinn, who is under attack from Miney, who is under attack from Smoljar here as they dive down towards turn one. Smoljar to the outside line, can't find a way through there. There are the race leaders going through the Mercedes arena. It remains Patrick Pasma, and it remains Pasma under pressure. Piastri still looking for a way by as they come now down towards the turn 4, 5, 6 sequence of corners. Piastri so close, and it's hard to stay close. So the fact that he gets under the rear wing of the leading car makes you think that he's about to make a move, because he knows that by sitting in dirty air, he's going to go slower and end up damaging his own tyres. Down they come into the Dunlop curve. Stewards are also having a look, I understand, at some alleged overtaking behind the safety car. So quite a bit to keep them busy at the moment. We're on lap 7 here in race 1 of 2 for the Formula Renault Euro Cup at the Nurburgring. And there, having ridden over the curve, accelerating up towards the Ravenol curve, goes the car of Amaury Cordeal. There are the race leaders, and still Piastri is frustrated. He is so close to Pasma, but he can't really find a way through, can't find a way of even challenging as yet. Pasma soaking up the pressure, and now Piastri gets a bit more toe. He jinks about in the mirrors, trying to distract Pasma, trying to put him off his stride going into the chicane. Patrick Pasma soaks up the pressure though, so Pasma it is that still leads the way. flicks the car across the road to defend, coming into the Hyundai curve, and now accelerates onto the pit straight. The two race leaders come through together, and now Piastri close enough surely to make a move. He gets a toe here. Does he dive to the inside? He thinks about it. He goes to the outside line because the inside is covered off. But what he'd like to do is try and get the switch back here. Is he going to be alongside? No. Pasma defends and defends well. Out of that long looping left in turns 2 and 3 they go. The race leader, Patrick Pasma, was 0.233 of a second up last time, and still Oscar Piastri is there behind. Now, in third place, Alex Quinn. Could he be benefiting a little bit from the battle going on ahead of him? The last lap time for Quinn, not as quick as Piastri, but it was quicker than Pasma. So he's got good pace. There he is in third place, plunging down the hill now, Alex Quinn. So Smolyar, fastest lap of the race. Down they come into the turn 8 Dunlop curve at the bottom of the hill. Speed builds now as they sprint once more up towards the Schumacher S. Over that low curve, motorbike racing, of course, a feature at the Nurburgring as well. And there the race leaders head up towards the Bilstein curve with the gap down. So on this lap, Piastri a fraction quicker in sector 1, and he's having another go as we approach the final third of the race. Piastri jinks to the inside, no way through there. He's on the power once again. There in the background is Quinn, whose last lap was a 57.8, so quicker than both of those ahead of him. And then Smolyar, the quickest man on the circuit, in 4th place. Up to the timing line they come, down towards turn 1. They'll get a toe, he'll be slightly quicker. It was into turn 1 a few laps back that we saw a half effort be made. There's also another little battle developing lower down, which looks like Collett versus Miney, and Kaya Collett has gone through. There are the leaders, and so 31, Patrick Pasma, is ahead, but only just of Piastri. He didn't really challenge that time. He's still sitting in the wheel tracks. Into turn 3 they go. There, the top 2 separated by next to nothing at all. Kaya Collett, the next one then to get up past Kush Miney. So the order, Pasma, Piastri, Quinn, Smolyar, Martins, then Collett, then Miney. Colombo still 8th after his great first couple of corners. He's stuck. 9th is Lorandi, 10th is Cordeal. Points in the top 10 Formula 1 style, 25 for a win. And the leaders then with 3 tenths between them, and then only 1 second back in third place is Alex Quinn. He's closing on Piastri, who's getting ever more frustrated now with 8 minutes to go, stuck behind the leader, Patrick Pasma. Making the climb now up the hill. Piastri looks to the outside line, can't find a way through there. Rides the curves. Part of Piastri's renewed impetus in this is the worry of what's going on behind him, because you can see the opposition is getting closer and closer and closer. And Quinn is taking the very quick Smolyar with him. Alexander Smolyar, remember, is currently 4th in the championship. He'd like another good haul of points here as they come up towards the chicane. And now Pasma has to go defensive as Piastri is right there with him. Suddenly, as we get towards the final 6 minutes of the race, it is getting very competitive indeed. And Piastri is no longer content just to sit there. He has been stuck. Pasma has been the cork in the bottle, and the danger is that they're being reeled in by Quinn, Smolyar and Martins. Here they come. It's almost 5 for the lead now. Over the timing line, down towards the Mercedes arena. Is this a challenge about to be made? Yes, it is. To the inside line goes Oscar Piastri. Is he going to be able to find a way through? No, he is not, but he's got a tighter line coming out of the corner. Out wide goes Quinn. Smolyar's up alongside him for third place. Who is it going to be for third? It's just Quinn, but Smolyar is all over the back of him. Out of turn 3. Martins now at the inside of Smolyar. Can't find a way by. Slots back in behind him. So 2 great battles rage on here. They come past the hairpin cut through on the right-hand side, go left into turn 5. Can Pasma hang on for another 6 minutes plus a lap? It will be a great result if he could, because this has certainly not been an easy drive for him. They drop down the hill once more, down towards the Dunlop curve. brake hard, turn right. Climb towards the Schumacher S once more. A quick look from Piastri in the mirrors and he'll think, oh no, you can see Quinn is closing and he's taking Smoljar and Martins with him. The top 5 covered by just under 2 seconds at the end of that previous lap. Out of the Bilstein curve, downhill, speed building, bit of a twitch from Piastri's car as he rides the curbs. And we've also got drama for Lorenzo Colombo. I said he got stuck in 8th place. He's not stuck anymore. Well, not in 8th. He's stuck in the pit lane. So Colombo has had a problem, and he's in the pits as that elevates Cordeel, Lloveras, and Potacek now into the top 10. Here are the leaders. In towards the Hyundai curve they come. Turn right through effectively that long hairpin, and then onto the pit straight. There's another investigation going on now, and it's a rather complicated one. It seems to involve Colombo as well as Lloveras and Malvestiti, and it's for an incident at the chicane. Race leaders down to turn 1. Wide goes the leader. This surely is Piastri's chance. Yes, it is. He's alongside. He's on the outside at 2 and he can't do it. He's got to get on the inside line for turn 3, but even that puts him on the outside at turn 4. So Pasma hangs on to it, but have a look behind. Quinn is right there with them. So is Smoljar, so is Martins. It is 5 for the lead with just under 5 minutes to go. Out of turn 4 they come. Still, Patrick Pasma, sponge-like, soaks up all the pressure, and Piastri gets ever more toey in his quest to find a way through. Not a perfect start. That's partly gone against him. We've got Lorandi in the pit lane as well now as the leaders drop downhill. We're on lap number 13, the estimation being a 16-lap race. Looks like we're going to head to that as now Piastri goes to the outside line. He's now trying to jink around and put Pasma off his line. Force a mistake out of him. Trouble is, it ain't happening as yet. Quinn, 3rd, great effort this first time out. 4th Smoljar, 5th Martins. The run now down towards the Renault curve. And as the drivers turn left and then right into the Bilstein curve that follows it, this is where Piastri is going to start the move, see what he can do now on the run up towards the chicane. The danger is here that he gets mugged by Quinn if he's not careful. You can see the way that the 5 have all concertinaed over the last 3 or 4 laps. 1.8 seconds covered 5. See what it's going to be this time. Down to the chicane now. This time, in fact, Piastri does not elect to jink left or right. Instead, he might have to think a little bit about what's going on behind him, trying to defend now. They turn their way through that right-hander onto the pit straight once more. Up through the gears, game on for the lead, game on for 3rd. Smoljar all over the back of Quinn. And what's going on for the race lead? Piastri now starts to force the issue. He's on the wider outside line, diving down towards turn 1. Wide in, is very, very wide, but he's ahead. Contact, he's still ahead. He's on the inside and he's got the race lead. Brave stuff. Through goes Oscar Piastri. 2.5 minutes plus a lap to go and he's finally done it. He braved it out round the outside. They interlocked wheels, but he had track position, he had the line for the next corner, and Piastri goes through. Great bit of driving, great move, very brave indeed. Patrick Pasma drops to 2nd. 3rd is now Smoljar at the expense of Quinn, so we've had another change there. And 5th is Victor Martins. And now, look, Piastri is a man on a mission. He's building that gap, he's getting away as they drop down the hill once again. Now, what can Smoljar do about Pasma? He's lost his lead as Patrick, so instantly there's a little bit of fight taken out of him. Is that going to be what Smoljar needs? Really good drive this by Smoljar, isn't it? Bearing in mind he started 7th on the grid and he's fighting for 2nd position. So the race leader, Oscar Piastri, any chance of him doing the fastest lap before the end? I wonder. Now he's got a clear road ahead. 1 lap to run. Here he comes towards the Renault curve. You can see the gap that he's pulled. It's a huge one now over Pasma, who is busy defending from Smoljar. Then it's Quinn, Martins and Caio Collet down in 6th place, some way adrift. Down the hill come the leading group. Collet doing his best to stay with them, but he's not near enough to attack as they come up towards the chicane. But Oscar Piastri, winner at Silverstone twice, winner at Spa, looks as though he's on target for win number 4 of the season, more than anybody. And of course it's also helping him perhaps towards a championship. There is still a long way to go, yes, but drives like this all help. Over the timing line he goes then, 2nd, 3rd, 4th coming through now. Pasma, Smolyar, Quinn, Victor Martins is 5th, Kaya Collett sort of shouting, wait for me, he's there in 6th. And that lap for Piastri was his best of 57.697. He's got to find a 10th to get the fastest lap of the race. Can he do it on the last lap? Battle is still on for 2nd as Pasma defends from Smolyar. Out of turn 3. Last lap. Smolyar knowing that Quinn is behind him ready to strike. But does he have an opportunity to have a go for that 2nd place? Let's see as they come now down towards the turn 5 left-hander. If anything, Smolyar looks like he's dropped back ever so slightly. And if anything, Quinn is closer to him than Smolyar is to Pasma, who is still on target for his best finish of the season. So the cars now make that run once more down towards the Dunlop curve down at turn 8. So a good drive this has been by Oscar Piastri. Is it going to turn out to be win number 4 of the season? Right now, you would not bet against it, would you? Three turns. Oscar Piastri for the R-Ace GP team, heading for honours, heading for another win. He comes here, down the hill, then the climb up towards the chicane, turns into the left, turns into the right, and so Oscar Piastri looking good. It's been a very impressive drive, shadowed Patrick Pasma for the first, 3 quarters, worked out exactly where he could push. He looked after the machinery, looked after his tyres, and when it matters, Oscar Piastri takes the checkered flag. He wins race 1 in the Formula Renault Euro Cup here at the Nurburgring. 2nd goes the way of Patrick Pasma, still his best of the year, and 3rd on the podium yet again, Alexander Smolyar. In 4th, Alex Quinn, good debut. 5th, Victor Martins, and 6th goes the way of Kaya Collett. So Oscar Piastri the winner by just under 3 seconds from Patrick Pasma. In 3rd place, Alexander Smolyar, and 4th to Alex Quinn. Victor Martins 5th, ahead of Kaya Collett, with Kushmani dropping to 7th, ahead of Amaury Cordial, Javier Lloveras 9th, and Hugo de Wilde making some decent progress up into the top 10 and a point. Petr Potacek 11th after his poor start, João Vieira 12th after getting out of the gravel. Frank Bird 13th, delayed early on, also delayed Alex Karkovic, and a pit stop was the reason that Federico Malvestiti fell a long way back. Let's try and grab a word with our victorious drivers. Our reporter Dakota is with Oscar Piastri.
Oscar, congratulations. What a race that was. Wow, right to the final lap. Unbelievable.
Yeah, messed up the start again, so got to focus on that one for the next one. But yeah, he definitely made me work for it. It's pretty difficult to pass here at the best of times, and he was doing a very good job of defending. So well done to Patrick. Obviously, it's his best result as well. But yeah, very happy to get win number 4.
Good, great championship, boys. Well done. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was a really tough race. 2nd position. You happy with that?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
Not very happy, Patrick, are you?
No, I think it's the best result of the season so far. So yeah, I'm happy.
Good, good. It's a tough track anyway. Well done.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Alex, congratulations. Started a few places back from 3rd and finally finished 3rd. You must be happy to be back on the podium.
Yeah, of course I'm happy. Maybe was not expecting to be on podium, but we had like 3 on a row good races with the gaining a lot of positions. Unfortunately, the qualifying was a bit tough, but hopefully tomorrow will be better and will be a bit higher on the podium.
Maybe you'd like to say a few words in your own home language.
Большое спасибо всем моим поклонникам, всем тем, кто за меня болеет. Очень помогает, особенно после СПА, после 3-й гонки, после 2-й гонки, извиняюсь, где произошел небольшой инцидент. Всем спасибо за слова поддержки. Я постараюсь вас завтра порадовать.
Congratulations, well done. Thanks.
So thoughts from the top 3 drivers, and they will shortly make their way up to the podium. But Oscar Piastri admitting to a bad start, but this is how we got the lead switch. He went bravely to the outside line all the way down the pit straight, and this time stayed on the outside, just got his nose in front. There was the contact, they interlocked wheels, but Piastri stood his ground, kept the inside line on the run up into turns 2 and 3, and that was enough to give Oscar Piastri the lead, the win, and that makes it win number 4 of this season. So Oscar Piastri takes honours in race 1 here at the Nurburgring, and Patrick Pasma, Alexander Smolja second and third at the end of the first of this double-header weekend's events. Race 2 of the weekend in the Formula Renault Euro Cup is going to be getting underway shortly here at the Nurburgring. It's a cooler day today than we had yesterday, but even so, it is going to be a competitive race. It's dry, which is the main thing, and a rare thing perhaps at the Nurburgring. 3 dry days back-to-back, and there Oscar Piastri lining up on pole position. It's a standalone qualifying session, of course, for each of the races, and Oscar Piastri taking pole position in the qualifying session that we had this morning. He's also been a winner at Silverstone twice and once at Spa, and the championship leader now pushing forward, building the advantage all the time within the Formula Renault Euro Cup. New cars for this year, the Formula Renault FR19 1800cc turbocharged engines. They are like a regional Formula 3 car with the Halo device. Alex Quinn, new to the championship this weekend, rookie driver, driving for the Arden team, and he had a really good run yesterday, finished in 4th place. Today he starts second on the grid. There is Caio Collet, who lines up third on the grid, managed by Nicolas Todd, and tipped by many as the next big thing to come from Brazil. He is the reigning French Formula Renault champion. There is the car of Alexander Smolja. At the very back is Patrick Pasma, who had dramas in the qualifying session, didn't get a lap time in, and yet he was second yesterday, led the bulk of the race until Oscar Piastri came late race and made a move to get the advantage. Alexander Smolja has been a double winner this year. He's third in the championship now. There he is in the R-Race GP car in the SMP Racing colours, the red, white and blue. And if we have a stroll up the grid, you'll find on pole position in number 1, Oscar Piastri, and it's Alex Quinn lining up with him at the front of the grid. So the R-Race GP and Arden entries, and there would be a lot of support for an Arden victory. Arden supporting the R Motorsport team has just won, incidentally, the last race here at the Nürburgring in the Blancpain GT World Challenge Europe. Can it be a winner in Formula Renault as well? Also for R-Race GP, third on the grid, Caio Collet, and for the Vitek team, Petra Potacek lining up for 5th is where you find Victor Martins in the MP Motorsport car. And then for R-Race GP, it is Alexander Smolja. He starts 6th on the grid. 7th, Lorenzo Colombo for MP Motorsport in the red and white colours. He retired from yesterday's race with mechanical dramas, and lining up 8th, it is going to be Kush Maini for the M2 competition team, the Indian driver in position ready to go. 9th on the grid is where you find Xavier Lloveras there in the green-nosed car run by the GRS team, and 10th is another car from the Arden stable of the British driver Frank Bird. 11th, Monza winner Ugo de Wilde, and 12th on the grid, Leonardo Lorandi, who has flattered to deceive a little bit this year. He's shown flashes of pace, but he's not been consistently up near the front, and he was another one in strife yesterday. 13th on the grid, João Vieira, who's been on the podium on a couple of occasions this year, at Silverstone, for example, and again at Monaco. Has had a good run there. And João Vieira lining up on row 7 with Monza-born Federico Malvestiti for company for Vitek. The penultimate row, Amaury Cordil and Patrick Schott, who we lost at the first corner yesterday in a tangle and broken suspension. And then the back row is Alex Karkozic, having his first outings in the championship, his first race weekend. He's come from the Euro Formula Open series. And then Patrick Pasma, who had problems at the start of the session, didn't get a lap time in. He has been allowed to start despite doing no lap time, and he starts at the very back of the grid. So we're good to go. There is the last car of the Finn Patrick Pasma. What progress can be made up the order? Let's see. Now the lights will go on, and once all the red lights are extinguished, the race will get underway. Now, does Piastri make another decent start? Little bit of wheel spin, little bit bogged down. Alex Quinn gets the drop on him on the inside line in the Arden car and leads the way. Alex Quinn grabs the advantage down towards turn 1. Piastri on the outside line there as they turn their way through the corner, and now accelerate up towards turn 2 for the first time, wheel to wheel. Piastri back on the inside, into the race lead he goes. Alex Quinn down to 2nd place. Petra Potacek, it looks like, has got 3rd ahead of Caio Collet as they run now up through turn 3. Smolja is next, and there you can see Xavier Lloveras in the green and grey car on the inside line, almost making contact and forcing Kush Maini out wide. Lorenzo Colombo comes up and gains ground as well as they dive down towards turn 5 for the first time. But Oscar Piastri now, if he does what he did yesterday, having hit the front, should be able to just pull away. Downhill he comes here. Quinn runs second, and as yet no suggestion that Victor Martins is going to join in from the pit lane as they drop down towards turn 8. There, out of the car, gets Victor Martins, race done. So Victor Martins doesn't even take the start here, and that is a real blow in the championship. Problem coming to the grid, and on that formation lap, enough to put the man second in the title race out of the race. Leaders flick through the Schumacher S for the first time. Oscar Piastri it is, leading the way, then Alex Quinn runs second as they come up now towards turns 11 and 12 on this opening lap of 30 minutes of racing. 66 going through, Alex Kokozik at the rear of the pack, but look at the way that Piastri now, having got himself into the lead, is getting away. Margin building as they drop downhill. Second spot there, Alex Quinn, and in third is Petr Potacek. Fourth, Kaya Collett as they come now up towards the chicane, and a challenge made lower back because that's Frank Bird on the inside, number 32. Up the curb, contact, interlocks wheels there, and that pitches into the air number 51, Federico Malvestiti, who lands heavily and looks like he's got broken suspension as a consequence. So Frank Bird on the attack quite definitely, and Malvestiti is the one that's come off worse. Over the timing line, they pour at the end of lap 1. Piastri already 11 tenths to the good. Second is Quinn, third Potacek, fourth Collett, fifth Smolia, sixth is Lloveras, seventh is Colombo, 8th is Miney, 9th is Ugo de Wilde, 10th is Bird, and down the pit lane, Federico Malvestiti after that contact. And there's another one that's been badly delayed on the first lap, which is Leonardo Lorandi, number 25. He has yet to come through as well. So the leaders working their way through the arena now for the second time, and Oscar Piastri trying to get away. There is Lorandi, so that's why he's been delayed. He's got a problem as well. Is it damage? There is Malvestiti, the team having a look at any possible damage before they even contemplate sending him back into the race. The Bitec team, they're rather concerned. It was a certain big impact. Replay of the start here. Have a look at Piastri. A little bit of wheel spin as the car just bogged down a touch. Alex Quinn away very smartly indeed. Catapults up the inside line and accelerates into the race lead down towards turn 1. Grabs the advantage. But there, Piastri, look, comes back at him, stands his ground on the outside at turn 1, the inside for turn 2. The road just opens up for him, and through he goes on the inside line into the lead of the race. We understand that the problem with Victor Martins is turbo boost related, like a lack of it potentially, as the leader then comes up towards the end of lap 2. The incident between Malvestiti and Bird is noted, and the officials are going to have a look at that to see whether anybody needs to take the blame and take a penalty. Piastri to Quinn, the gap up by another half a second, 1.6 being the margin. Third is Potacek ahead of Collett, fourth Smolia, fifth Lloveras is sixth, and there 27 Ugo de Wilde now getting himself onto the back of Kushmaini. So the man that won the opening race at Monza, but it's been a bleak season since, Ugo de Wilde, giving the Indian driver a tough time now as they go through turn 2. Out of the arena, together they turn then. Now where does Ugo de Wilde make the move? Of course the problem is you've got identical machinery. It's not easy to overtake anyway around here. And if you get stuck in, you know what can happen, like this. Frank Bird's move then. So he dives to the inside, accelerates up the inside, Malvestiti turns in, Bird up the curb, there they interlock wheels, launches Malvestiti into the air. It's a heavy landing and a rattle over the curb as well. The incident between Malvestiti and Bird is going to be looked at after the race. And there, 33 goes through then, so Alex Quinn hustling on, adapting to this new style of Formula Renault car, whereas of course the people around him have been racing them for a season, and that makes the fact that he's doing 2 good races in his first weekend even more meritorious. Well done, that man. It's not easy to be parachuted into a championship that you've not been in before and instantly be on the pace, but Alex Quinn is doing a fine job. Down he comes then now towards turn 5. Petr Potacek going through in that third place, and Kaya Collett fourth, not quite close enough at the moment to think about making a move as they drop down the hill once again here. Down through turn 8, Alexander Smolia is the other driver that you might anticipate a little bit more to be coming from, but he too seemingly is struggling a touch at the moment. He's not getting himself near enough to the train of cars ahead to be a factor for the time being. Through they swing now, up through the Schumacher S. Alex Quinn at the start of this lap was 7/10 up on Petr Potacek. The gap down fractionally within the first sector. There, the SMP Racing colours carried by Alexander Smolyar as he goes through. They drop down the hill once again, heading towards the climb to the chicane. Federico Malvestiti, incidentally, is back in the race after the incident early on, but he's so far back he needs a safety car really to bring him back into the mix. Xavier Lloveras goes through, looking good here in 6th place. So Lloveras in the GRS car, the sole GRS entry through turn 17. The leader goes over the line. Oscar Piastri clear up front for the moment. Then the Vitek engineers look on as Petr Potacek runs 3rd. Is he close enough to attack Quinn? No, not yet. He's not. So it's Piastri from Quinn, Potacek from Collett, Smolyar from there, Lloveras, and Lorenzo Colombo in 7th place, still not really being able to make the progress that he needs. So across the line, leaders have gone, and the gap is now 2.5 seconds. Piastri to Quinn. He's looking ever more secure with 1/3 of the timed element of the race now completed. The rest of the field filing through. Number 31 going through there. That is Patrick Pasma, who is making progress in 12th, up from the back of the grid. And there in the pit lane, back in the pit lane indeed, is Federico Malvestiti. And that is the end of the day. The damage sustained by contact with Frank Bird, there he is, enough to put him out of the race. And to a degree, that doesn't help Frank Bird's case when the officials have a look at it, because of course, contact and then retirement, rather than contact and continuing, it's always going to look rather more bleak in the eyes of the stewards. So Frank Bird may end up with a penalty here as a result of that contact. Patrick Pasma, his ardent teammate, meantime, still pushing on. Heads down the hill, and Patrick ran really well yesterday, led probably 3/4 of the race, but it was only late that Oscar Piastri made the move that gave him the race lead. Patrick Pasma taking a season best of 2nd position. And there is Piastri, look, absolutely out on his own. Nobody around him to threaten. Alex Quinn, best of the rest in 2nd spot, but now for Piastri, it's just a case seemingly of ticking off the laps, isn't it? Because he is so far up the road and looking mighty impressive indeed here. So through they turn once again. Kyle Collett then in the surviving Renault Sport Academy liveried car. The two cars run by different teams, RHGP and MP Motorsport. Victor Martins, the non-starter, and Federico Malvestiti, a retirement. Also Leonardo Lorandi out of the race. So 18 we should have had, 15 are still circulating, and there in 4th is Kyle Collett coming up towards the end of the lap now. So Piastri through. Now what about this gap between Quinn and Potacek? To the eye, looks a little bit less. Another new fastest lap just done by Piastri as they dive now down towards the right-hander at turn 1. And now getting really toey is Potacek on the outside line. Run out wide, but Collett not close enough to take advantage. Now he's on his toes, thinking something might kick off ahead, but he's not near enough really to buy into this as they come all the way through turns 2 and 3. He's right there on the back of Potacek, and a sideways Quinn that's going to compromise the exit speed at turn 3 into turn 4. Petr Potacek right there behind him. Now slingshots to the outside, then goes to the inside. Collett also trying to get past the pair. Smolyar joins in, and it's one tiny moment from Quinn that's suddenly given this battle renewed impetus. Down the hill they come now, through turn 5. Potacek just fending off Kyle Collett. Smolyar is almost up with them as well, and now look as they squabble. So Quinn gets away, and Potacek goes defensive as to the outside line comes Collett. He can't drive around the outside at turn 8, surely. Can he duck up the inside coming out of the corner? The answer again is no, but it's not for the want of trying, that's for sure. Through they swoop out of the S's. And now up once more towards turn 11. Kyle Collett pulls out, has a look, pulls back in again. And now the car's out of turn 12, plunge down the hill once more. Piastri then, the fastest lap of the race lead, and he is still going quicker and quicker and quicker in the sectors, almost now like he's doing qualifying laps to maintain concentration. He is so far up the road. Alex Quinn running in 2nd as he turns now into the left and right flicks at the chicane. The slower chicane, the tighter chicane used by the Formula Renault drivers. Two options, of course, one for motorbikes, but also it's used by GT cars this weekend, by cars in historic events as well, but the tighter Formula 1 chicane used by the Formula Renault Euro Cup brigade. Over the timing line they go once again. And Oscar Piastri leading now by 5.6 seconds. So where is the next battle going to come from? Still, second, third, fourth, fifth is the most likely to, but it needs, as I say, somebody to make a mistake, a significant mistake, to really shuffle the order. There is 27, which is the car of Hugo de Wilde, rival of Caio Collet in the French F4 Championship last year. Hugo de Wilde was the runner-up in that with 4 wins. There is the champion, number 2, Caio Collet, going through ahead of this man, Alexander Smolja. Smolja in his second Formula Renault Euro Cup year. He was upside down at Spa, remember, when he had that tangled late race with a spinning Federico Malvestiti. And here, Alexander Smolja, who was on the podium at least yesterday, comes down the hill. But frustrated here, he cannot quite make the move against Caio Collet. One of the problems of this circuit is that the corners flow one into the other, so you don't get the slow stop-start element where you can make a dive up the inside. Once you've got a rhythm, the road flows, and it's hard, therefore, to overtake unless somebody makes a mistake in front of you. Out of turn 5, there goes Caio Collet. And is he a little bit nearer this time, maybe, to Petr Potacek as the cars swing their way downhill to the eye? The gap is a little bit less. Alex Quinn then in second spot, replacing Sebastian Fernandez this weekend. Sebastian 10th in the championship. It's been a tough season for him. Did have his best results at Spa, but has stood down for the weekend. So Alex Quinn brought in to replace him, doing a good job here. Through they turn, 31 goes through, Patrick Pasma, 12th, and again he's made early progress off the line, but it just becomes so much harder as the race wears on. Lorenzo Colombo still for 6th place, but that could well give Colombo the chance to challenge. Now, Guevaras has made up 3 places from his grid position, so he's still running well within that top 6 as the cars now run towards the chicane once more. 6 3/4 minutes to go, plus the regulation lap. Piastri very nearly in the first race at the Hungaroring. So far ahead is he. Down they come through the chicane once more. Caio Collet on the run now, up towards the turn 17. And accelerating now up through the right-hander, heading to the timing line. Through they go, and Alex Quinn heads past the pits then. The gap to the race leader is up to 9 seconds now. And across this, what have we got? Top 7. Still, it's always about to happen, and possibly might now. Colombo has a look on the inside of Joveras, but it was not a real serious bid, I don't think. Trying to unsettle rather than trying to get ahead of Joveras. Try and force a mistake out of him, but again, what you're seeing here is the problem of slips and wings single-seater racing with the aero. There, another lock-up by Joveras, but Colombo tried it, but it was too late to make a really serious bid out of that. However, Joveras now knows he's got to go defensive. Down towards turn 5 they will come. Colombo didn't get through there, hasn't got through yet, sitting in the dirty air. This is going to have a negative effect against his car, and another lock-up by Xavier Joveras. Now is the chance for Colombo to try to pounce coming out of the corner. Is he near enough to do it as they go down the hill? The answer is no. He's still 2 lengths back. So Joveras, with more and more little slips being offered up, turns through turn 8. Back onto the power, climbs the hill, rides the curbs, but has managed to regroup after the dramas at the start of the lap and is now safe and secure in that position once again. So for 6th, Xavier Joveras versus Lorenzo Colombo. Caio Collet is the other driver now hustling on just a little bit nearer, it seems, to the back of Petr Potacek. 5 minutes plus a lap still to go. And through they turn once more now, up towards the turn 13 kink. The fast right-hander, fastest part of the circuit this, on the run through that corner up towards the chicane, and then it's the heavy braking part of the lap, down through the gears, and flick through the second gear left and right section. Speed builds again up towards turn 17. The leader heads towards turn 1, and he has got, what do we think, 3 more laps to go. 2 within the timed part plus the regulation lap, and that will do him. Oscar Piastri then through 10 seconds ahead last time, 10.8, nearly 11 this time, clear of everybody else as the field now blasts down towards the arena once again. Now Smolja has gapped Joveras there as they turn into turn 1. Joveras in turn just stretching that advantage over Lorenzo Colombo, and we have again, this elasticated situation. At certain parts of the lap, the gaps come down, cars get close, get in the dirty air, have to drop back. Colombo on the attack, closes there onto the back of Lloveras, whereas Oscar Piastri is well clear. Patrick Schott, incidentally, who we lost at the first corner yesterday, we've lost just now because he's in the pit lane. So Patrick Schott, who's switched teams for the weekend, he's gone to M2 competition. There he is, rather than the FA Racing by DriveX team, Fernando Alonso's squad. It's got no better for him. Patrick Schott is into the pit lane, and that rather looks as though the race is done. But hats off to Oscar Piastri, absolutely stunning drive this. He's done the fastest lap, he's qualified on pole, he's dominated the race. He might have been just a little bit hesitant off the line and lost out to turn 1 against Alex Quinn, but after that, storming effort through into the lead and has built a mega gap. And bearing in mind, yes, admittedly, Quinn has held them up behind, fighting for that second place, but everybody in identical machinery. It underlines just how good Oscar Piastri is, and he is looking mighty in Formula Renault Euro Cup this season. Now there, Potacek having to defend all of a sudden because Kaya Collett and Alexander Smolja having one last go as they head into the arena. To the outside line goes Collett, but he's on the wrong line. He needs to try and duck up the inside now, coming out of 2 down to turn 3. A little bit of a twitch from Petr Potacek, who is hanging on to 3rd place. Round the outside at 3, the inside for 4 comes Collett. Is he going to get through? No, he's up the curb, he's delayed. Potacek's forced wide. Now Collett goes through. Here comes Alexander Smolja. He's got past 1, he's squeezed onto the grass by the other. Collett goes 3rd, Smolja round the outside of Potacek, now secures the place. So finally, the cork is out of the bottle. Potacek loses the place to Collett, loses the place to Smolja. I was about to offer you that he was on target for his best finish of the year as a podium. Not anymore, he's not. One tiny mistake and Petr Potacek falls 2 places, and now Colombo gets up the inside of Lloveras. Side by side, out of turn 8, up the hill they come, nose to tail. Lloveras just able to stay ahead, and now he is all over the back of Petr Potacek, who is off his stride as a result of that little error midway around the lap, running wide, coming out of turn 4, and Kaya Collett finally forced the issue, finally goes through, and we have that change for 3rd, for 4th places. Collett then up to 3rd, Smolja up to 4th, and down to 5th drops Petr Potacek. Still 6th is Lloveras, despite Lorenzo Colombo having been up alongside him, and this isn't quite done yet with a lap to go. Look, Colombo looks the quicker, goes to the outside, heading to the chicane, but no, Lloveras able to fend him off, and now Kushmaini is closing up as well. As soon as 2 of them start to squabble, they hold each other up, and it changes the complexion of the battles around as the leader goes by. So Piastri it is. And the clock ticks and ticks and ticks and ticks, and the beam is broken by Alex Quinn in 2nd place. We've just had another fastest lap done by Oscar Piastri, a 1:56.131 now, and he's 13 seconds to the good through in 3rd place. Now Kaya Collett, and then 4th is Smolja, 5th is Potacek, and 6th is Lloveras. As Hugo de Wilde at Monza win seems all rather distant now for the Belgian driver, but he's staying in the top 10. He'll salvage something out of this race in terms of points, but certainly not as many as he would ideally like. There is Lloveras versus Colombo as they in turn accelerate now down once more towards the turn 4 right-hander. There is Lloveras having one of his better showings, actually. He's been a bit up and down this year. Colombo, triple winner, stuck behind him, getting really frustrated now, cannot work out how to get through. But that is Australian Oscar Piastri, who is heading unquestionably now for a race win. Through he turns. There, riding the curb, number 33, which is Alex Quinn, set for 2nd place, which, given that he's not been racing up until this weekend, is a really, really good result. Behind Quinn is Collett, then Smolja, Potacek, Lloveras. The checkered flag is being made ready, though, for this man, Oscar Piastri, who is about to take win number 5 as he comes now up towards turn 17. And Oscar Piastri sets the car up, turns into the right-hander, and will now accelerate towards the timing line. Through he comes, fires the car out of the last corner, and win number 5 of the season in Formula Renault Euro Cup goes to Oscar Piastri, who absolutely blitzes the opposition here at the Nurburgring. 2nd is going to go the way here of Alex Quinn, who comes out of the last corner, heads towards the timing line. The flag is waved. Quinn 2nd, brilliant drive by him. 1st weekend in the championship. 3rd, Kaya Collett. 4th is Alexander Smolja. Petr Potacek 5th, ahead of Lloveras, Colombo, Maini, de Wilde and Frank Bird to round out the top 10 as they come across the line. But let's hear then from our winning drivers with Dakota.
Oscar, well done. In an aerodynamic dependent car with no one in front of you, you are flying off. Amazing.
Yeah, obviously a pretty good race. Made life difficult for myself again at the start, but went around the outside a bit earlier this time. And yeah, obviously great points for the championship. You know, I think everyone here is a little bit subdued today due to yesterday's events at Spa. So, you know, I don't want to celebrate too much. But yeah, great points for the championship and really happy with how it went.
Good job, well done.
Oh, and happy Father's Day to Dad too.
Happy Father's Day to Dad too. Alex, I'm going to bring you up here now. P2 for you, happy with that?
Yeah, extremely happy. It's my first weekend in Renault. Extremely difficult. Haven't quite got up to race fit yet. Found that really physically hard, but yeah, still really pleased. Can't thank the Arden crew enough for helping me just learn and learn and learn, and yeah, so happy.
Nice job, congratulations. Good start to the Renault. Come, mate, Koyo. How was your weekend? Third place? That's pretty good. You just couldn't quite catch Alex, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think it was alright. Made again the same mistake as yesterday in the start. So I lost one place and then was quite hard behind the guys. But yeah, once I managed to overtake P2, I think I had a really good car. Just say big thanks to our race crew for all the weekend. I think double win with Oscar and all of us in the top 5 is really good. And I just want to say that my thoughts are with Antoine and all his family. It was a really tragic day yesterday, and hope for the best.
Okay, Alex, difficult weekend for you. Summarize for me how race 2 went.
Вторая гонка прошла довольно тяжело, потому что были небольшие проблемы с резиной, они появились с самого начала, и дальше, естественно, с каждым кругом они становятся все хуже и хуже. Поэтому держаться за соперниками впереди было сложно, но каким-то чудом я смог все-таки выиграть одну позицию и стать четвертым.
And there's confirmation of the result. Oscar Piastri victorious, Alex Quinn second, Kyle Collett third. Fourth, Alexander Smoljar. Fifth, Petra Potacek and Xavier Llovera. Sixth ahead of Lorenzo Colombo. Frustrated that he couldn't make the progress up from seventh. Kushmaini eighth, Ugo de Wilde ninth, and 10th goes the way of Frank Bird ahead of the non-scoring Amaury Cordial, Patrick Pasma, João Vieira. So the drivers then on the podium as Oscar Piastri takes win number 5 and extends the margin within Formula Renault Euro Cup 2019. The next stop being the Hungaroring in just a week's time.